Is it really possible to write an entire novel in a month? Maybe. I don't know. Probably. Let's find out. Welcome to Allie on Life, where we talk about life, business, and crafting great stories and getting them out there. I'm so glad you're here. Now, if you've been watching my videos in chronological order, you know that I said that the next video would be about how to pivot or change your strategy when things don't quite go to plan. Well, guess what? This is life, and I just realized it's almost November, and that means it is nano time. That's right. Do you know what nano is? All right, well, if you don't, I'm going to let you know. But before I get into that, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do, because every subscriber helps me get to my goal, and I would really appreciate it. What is nano? That is a really good question. Nano, or NaNoWriMo, which sounds really weird when you say it out loud, it's usually a hashtag, is National Novel Writing Month, which is November. Did you know that November is National Novel Writing Month? I found that out about 10 years ago, and 10 years ago. Okay, we're going to say it was less than that, but I found that out some time ago, and I thought, wow, is it really possible to do this? So the point of National Novel Writing Month is to write a novel, and they say 50,000 words. Now, if you know, like I do, that a novel is actually more than 50,000 words, well, we're still going to say we're going to write 50,000 words in the month of November, or a whole novel, however you want to say it. Is that even possible? And the answer to that question is yes, people have done it. I have not. I tried one year, I think 2008 or 2009, and I got to about 30,000 words, which is not 50,000, but it was a lot more words than I had ever written in a month, and I was pretty proud of myself for that. I've said several times since then that I'm going to do it, or that I'm not going to do it, because honestly, November is a terrible time to write a novel. And who really wants to write a novel in November? Why don't they pick one of the other months? Oh, well, it's because there's no good time to write a novel. It's true. Fun fact, no good time to write a novel. You just have to write it whenever you decide you're going to do it. So November really, honestly, is as good a time as any to write one. And it just so happens that I have one all planned out and ready to write. In fact, I've even started writing it, but I'm only about 6,000 words or so in, which is not very much. When I realized at some point this week, probably while I was in the shower, that it is almost November, I thought, wow, that would be a really good time to really ramp up my novel writing and get this thing written. So here we are, getting ready to write a novel in November. Now I realize it's only a few days until November, and if you just now are having the thought of maybe I would like to write a novel, you might need a little bit of time to prepare, and it might be scaring you a little bit. So here are a couple of tips that I have for success in National Novel Writing Month. Even though I've never had success in National Novel Writing Month, we might as well give it a shot, right? Okay. First, how to prepare. Well, there are lots of different ways that you can get ready to write a novel. You can just kind of start writing. A lot of people do that. They call it writing from the seat of your pants, or pantsing, which is a strange word to say, but it's a thing. You can do that. There's also plotters. Now, if you have not plotted your novel at this point, I'm not sure that you'll really be able to get a lot of that done before November. But, I mean, you can at least have sort of a general idea of your plot, your structure, your characters, what they're going to be doing, that kind of thing. So if you are really wanting to write something this month, I would just sit down for a few minutes, maybe take a couple of hours one of these next few days, and write out your ideas for your story, your characters, and some things about them. Write out what's going to happen in the story, the order those things are going to happen in. I am a plotter because I like to have the story actually written before I write the novel. It's a thing that I do. In my current one, I am using something called the snowflake method. I will link to that. And also, in the past, I've used some really good outline structures from someone whose name that I can't pronounce, but I will link to her stuff in the description as well. And one of these days, I'm going to learn how to say her last name so that I can say it out loud. Once you've prepared to write your novel, you have to find the time to write it. In order to successfully complete National Novel Writing Month and write 50,000 words in the month of November, you have to write about 2,000 words a day. 2,000 words a day! If you've never written even 1,000 words in a day, that sounds like a lot. And honestly, it sounds like a lot to me, and 2,000 words a day is something that I've definitely done. So it's either 2,000 words a day, or if you can't write every day, it's basically 15,000 words a week. Both of those goals are high goals, and so if you meet them consistently, you'll actually write more than 50,000 words in the month of November. But I set high goals because I know sometimes life happens and I'm not always going to meet them. That's why I make those goals. I don't set minimum goals because that is setting myself up for failure. I set high goals and I try to meet those. Where do you find the time to write either 2,000 words a day or 15,000 words a week? Well, you need to know how many words you write in an hour. In a good hour, I write between 1,000 and 1,500 words. In a bad hour, I write about 500 words. So I can say in about 2 hours, I can write about 2,000 words. So I need 2 hours a day. That's a lot, okay? But also you can say it's about 15, 14 hours a week. Also a lot. I mean, it's a good chunk of time to commit to write a novel in a month. You're going to have to take some time out of your normal life. So if you have family, if you have job, if you have all of that kind of thing, you need to figure out how you're going to plan that time and be realistic about it. Say, I know I need this time. Where am I going to get it? Where am I going to find it? Where am I going to carve it out of my life? Once you've prepared and you've planned the time, you have to just write. I wrote a book called Stop Thinking About Writing, Just Write, because in order to be a writer, you have to actually write. And that is the point of National Novel Writing Month. It's to actually write. And so it really doesn't even matter if you get to the 50,000 words or not, although that is my goal and I'm really going to try that this year because that is where I want to be by the end of November. But even if you only write 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 words, you've got a good start on a novel. And hey, that's pretty cool. Not a lot of people can say that they've written a novel in their lives. And so the goal is by the end of November to say that you have written one. And that makes for some fantastic conversation whenever we get to a time in life where we can have conversations with people again in person. So those are my quick tips on finishing a novel in November, or significantly starting a novel in November. Writing 50,000 words of your novel in November. Let me know in the comments if you're planning to try Nano this year along with me, and be watching for that video on how to pivot your strategy when life gets in the way next week. I promise it's going to be there, unless life gets in the way, because sometimes that happens. Again, please subscribe and share this with your friends so that they can subscribe too. We can have a big subscribing party. And if you want to subscribe to more than just my channel, you can go to my website, AllisonDuke.com, and subscribe to my email list where I send out weekly updates of how things are going. And I will update weekly on my word count in November. Thank you so much for watching. Happy writing, and I will see you next time.